Welcome back to the Transform Your Mind to Transform Your Life radio and podcast. I'm your host, Life Coach Myrna Young, and you are listening to 5 Minutes with Coach Myrna. And today I want to talk on the topic of understanding your nature. So the first question I want to ask you is, what is your nature? Do you know what your true nature is? This is a quote from the Buddha. The true crisis in the world is not social or pilots. The true crisis is a lack of consciousness, our inability to recognize our true nature. So let me illustrate the true nature of someone with this story. 2 monks were sitting by the river, and one of the monks noticed a scorpion drowning. He dipped his hand in the water and saved the scorpion by putting him on the shore, but not before the scorpion stung him. A couple minutes later, the other monk said, "Look, that stupid scorpion is in the water again." The monk again put his hand in the water and saved the scorpion. And again, the scorpion stung him. The other monk looked at him and said, "Why do you keep saving the scorpion when he keeps stinging you?" The monk replied, "Because it is my nature to save and his nature to sting." So, yes, whatever your nature is, that's basically what you will do, unless you make conscious effort to interrupt the pattern. So let me ask you again, what is your true nature? Many people fail to distinguish between their true nature and their personality traits, particularly their less desirable traits. The fact is, you are not the worst characteristics of your personality. It is the nature of the untrained mind to want what it perceives as advantageous and to fear or hate what it seems to be painful. Discovering how your heart and mind can work together to use these feelings allows you to move beyond them and start to experience the kind of freedom that comes from understanding your true nature. Is it your nature to help your friends, even though they never help you back? It is your nature to show kindness to strangers. Is it your nature to save like the monk, or is it your nature to critique and see the faults in others? When you discover your true nature, it gives you the freedom to act against your own self-interest, to not think, example, the monk saving the scorpion, even though he knows that it is his nature to sting. You may feel overwhelmed by the circumstances of your present life or bound by past traumatic events. Again, this is a failure in perception. A spiritual practice can provide you with the knowledge and discipline to investigate and discover your true nature. You have to discover this for yourself, for you will not ultimately believe what someone else tells you. You can do this by investigation within the parameters of your present life. The intensities of your desires and fears can be a strong energy that propels you to look more deeply for what really matters. The Buddha taught us that your true nature is obscured by the veils of wanting, fear, and delusion or ignorance. He urged that you look at the nature of your mind systemically and observe how 3 mind states condition what you think and value and how you behave. He taught that it is the identification with these mind states that causes suffering. For instance, you mistakenly believe that just because you feel the emotion of wanting, your true nature is the same as that of wanting. If you're not your thoughts, then what is your true nature? How do you find it? How do you live so that you may flourish? These are the perennial questions for anyone who starts to develop an inner life. In Jesus' teaching, love is the center of all being. Love that is forgiven, unconditional, and not self-serving. This was Jesus' true nature. What is yours? Knowing your true nature will allow you to make decisions effortlessly. The monk did not sit and debate if he should save the scorpion because he knew that self-interest was not in play. So I hope that I have stimulated your mind so that you can think back of what your true nature is. And you can only do that by looking at your past, looking at your habits, looking at your unconditional habits that you do without thinking. And that's way that you can actually identify your true nature. And then you will have the freedom, because once you identify what your true nature is, then you will walk in that path. So thanks for listening to this week's episode of 5 Minutes with Coach Myrna. I challenge you to get to know yourself, because that is the only way that you can grow yourself. I also would like to invite you to join my private Facebook group called Life Coach. In there, you will be inspired every day with hundreds of coaches so that you can live your best life now. Thanks again for tuning in, and until next time, namaste.